Donald Trump has just published his first statement regarding the mystery drone sightings in New Jersey. Now, to be clear, these sightings have now spread to multiple states, including neighboring New York and New York City, where residents reported seeing drones over LaGuardia Airport. On top of that, there have been increased sightings at U.S. bases overseas, not just in the UK, but in Germany as well. Now, before I show you this statement that Donald Trump put out, I do want to show you this new glimpse at these drones taken by a local ABC News affiliate in New Jersey.
You know, when things like this are happening, it seems everyone starts to look up, like my crew and I have been here in Mendham recording this video that you're looking at right now. We have no idea what it is, if it's a natural phenomenon, because it could be, but this is why so many municipalities are now asking people to reach out and send their videos to them or to experts who might be able to sort out what they're seeing in the skies. But I guarantee there are so many people looking up and making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved. For now, we're live here in Mendham Borough. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Lee's saying he's wondering whether or not that might be the moon, Tony, but you pointed out it's exactly the question people are asking. What is it?
No. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're looking at the moon right now, and that's nowhere near the moon.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the moon.
So a lot of people have described these drones as having some sort of protective force field. So what do you think we saw there in that video clip? Do you think that is the protective force field people are talking about? Or do you just think that's a flare from the camera lens that was there throughout the duration of the video? Let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comments. Now, Donald Trump has issued a statement. He posted this on Truth Social, according to President-elect Donald Trump. Mystery drone sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know and now. Otherwise, shoot them down. DJT. As I've previously reported, Donald Trump is getting security briefings. These started around November 18th or November 20th, so around the same time that the first New Jersey drone was sighted. Now, I have a hard time believing that if there is something known about these drones, that these wouldn't be included in the intelligence reports he's getting, just because it is a hot topic right now, especially publicly facing. And there are a few sentences in this statement that really catch my attention. Number one, can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. So he's not directly accusing the government of a cover-up, but he is sort of framing it in the reader's mind to suggest it without making the accusation. But it's the next sentence that really gets you, right? He says, let the public know and now. Well, how can the government let the public know unless there is something to know? So to me, this is written as if there's some sort of explanation that the federal government is already aware. Maybe they are already aware that they're hobbyists. Maybe they're aware that it's some branch of, maybe it's Space Force running experiments. I don't know. I don't claim to know. But this statement is written as if there is something to know, something to share, and Trump is saying, hey, let the public know now, otherwise shoot them down. Now, Mayorkas, Alejandro Mayorkas, was asked to respond to this on CNN by Wolf Blitzer, and Mayorkas said, well, there's nothing unusual about these drones. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. Take a look at this.
President-elect Donald Trump, he just called on the Biden administration for you guys to either release any information it has about these mysterious drone sightings or shoot the drones out of the sky. How do you respond to the president-elect?
Well, first of all, the statements I've made already are the principal message that I want to communicate to the American public. We haven't seen anything unusual. We know of no threat.
Yeah, and Mayorkas kept emphasizing that again and again. And basically, he kept saying, we have government experts and you need to trust our experts. Sound familiar? Well, Wolf Blitzer also asked him about what the New Jersey congressman had to say. And this is how Mayorkas responded.
First of all, we have experts, and he should not diminish the extent of their expertise and the extent of their dedication to the well-being of the American people. These are individuals who dedicate their careers to the safety and security of the United States of America, number one. Number two, it's not as though anyone can just take down a drone in the sky. That in and of itself would be dangerous.
Do you have the authority to shoot down drones?
Our authorities are very limited. That is precisely why we have gone to Congress to expand those authorities. Our authorities are limited by the United States Coast Guard in the maritime environment, the United States Secret Service in its protection of our national leaders. The U.S. Customs and Border Protection with respect to the border. We have various authorities that are discrete to the particular missions. We can't just shoot a drone out of the
sky.
But
do you know for sure these are drones or unmanned aircraft? What are they?
We believe that there are cases of mistaken identity where drones are actually small aircraft and people are misidentifying them. There very well may be drones in the sky, of course, but those are commercially available. One can go into a convenience store and buy a small drone. There are also commercial drones as well. But we know.
And I know a lot of people believe that. A lot of people are thinking that this is some sort of social and psychological phenomenon where people, because it's already in the collective psyche, people are just misidentifying objects as drones. There are a lot of people out there who are doubters. So this leads me to my next clip. And there is this reporter from News Nation. His name is Rich McHugh. And he's someone that I trust a lot. He was a very vocal skeptic, a doubter, until he personally saw one of these drones up close. Not just one of these drones, but several of these drones. As I've mentioned previously on the channel, there are some news sources that I follow very closely, some journalists that I trust a lot. One of those is Mark Halperin. That's how I knew and reported that Joe Biden was dropping out before he even did, and got the exact day and moment it happened right, thanks to Mark Halperin. And now Rich McHugh is saying that he believes there is an unexplained phenomena going on. And by the way, in case you don't take my word for it, Megyn Kelly also trusts him. You will not find a more credible person than at Rich McHugh, total man of honor, integrity. And here is his report that he shared on News Nation.
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights.
I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones. Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat, and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. Wow.
And the New York Post spoke with the same sheriff, the same police department, and confirmed the report. They write, fed up New Jersey sheriff sends own drone to follow mystery flying objects. What happened left some stunned. And they independently confirmed, that the wingspan for these flying objects is anywhere from 5 to 8 feet. So the drone that they sent up followed multiple objects, not just one, which is why there's a variation in the wingspan. But on top of that, every object they found was not giving off any heat signature, which is highly unusual for flying objects. Now, it's not just Rich McHugh who was a skeptic doubter turned believer. This also happened to former Maryland Mayor Larry Hogan, who spotted the drones over his own home. Take a look at this.
One of the latest sightings in Maryland by former Governor Larry Hogan. Hogan posting video of the drones to social media Friday, saying he personally witnessed and videoed what appeared to be dozens of large drones in the sky above his home in Davidsonville, Maryland, in Anne Arundel County. Hogan says the drones were active for about 45 minutes. He went on to say, "I do not know if this increasing activity over our skies is a threat to public safety or national security." He's calling on the federal government to take action, adding, "The public is growing increasingly concerned and frustrating with the government's lack of transparency and dismissive attitude." Hogan is not the only one demanding answers about the drone sightings. Maryland Republican Congressman Andy Harris issuing a statement Friday that reads in part, "We need transparency now from the White House to find out if these drones are a threat."
Definitely very interesting. Now, before I get to reading everyone's comments, I do want to show you this piece of footage that was taken by Harris Faulkner of Fox News. She spotted what she's calling a drone over New York City, and this is what that looked like.
That's definitely a drone. And it's just moving so strangely. Yeah, that's one. See how it's even with the tops of the trees? That's where I saw. And there's another one right behind the trees. You see it?
Yes, just standing there, hovering right there. Oh, yeah, it's right there, not moving. That one too isn't moving either. It's just hovering. There's one right back there.
Gosh, just the sound of all of them.
Right
It's just
there.
nonstop. Now that's a helicopter up there.
Oh yeah, that's
and they've been kind of encircling them. That's another one.
Yeah, I got that one.
Wow.
So definitely interesting. And what's particularly curious to me is that you guys are just as divided. I've now done 2 videos on these drones, and usually when I make a video, you guys are about 90% on the same page in the comments. There is a very clear consensus, but the comments on this drone story are just all over the place. There is no clear theme or consensus, which is why I suppose this is a mystery. But for all the people who believe that this is a covert federal government operation or PSYOP, there are just as many people who fervently believe that it is a foreign adversary like China, Russia, or Iran. And for as many people who believe those two things, there are people who fervently believe that this is just mass hysteria and just a psychological and sociological phenomena where people are seeing what they want to see because other people are seeing it. So have your views on this changed? And if so, what do you now believe? What do you think is going on? Let me know your thoughts, your commentary down in the comments below. I would love to hear all of that. Now, before we wrap up this video, I do want to respond to comments left on previous videos. This first one from Butterfly Hummingbird, having been an office manager. By the way, I should have led with that. This is referring to the Pete Hegseth story. So in yesterday's video, I talked about how Pete Hegseth and West Point now have differing stories on whether or not he applied and was accepted into West Point. And Butterfly Hummingbird writes, having been an office manager, I have no doubt that it's a case of sloppy, lazy employee who may have even been against Hegseth's nomination appointment as defense secretary. And you know what? I believe that. I buy that. I personally think that that's likely the case. I think usually the simplest explanation is the most likely explanation, and I think that that's the case with these drones. I will not share what I think the simplest explanation is because I think there can be multiple simple explanations depending on what side you're on, if that makes sense. Like there's a simple explanation for those who believe it's a federal operation, and there's a simple explanation for those who believe it's a foreign you get what I'm saying. Regarding the Crystal Mangum story, so she came forward. She was the accuser against the Duke lacrosse players, and she came out yesterday and said that she made up the whole thing against them. She lied. And Timothy writes, "I'm sorry, and I believe in forgiveness, but I believe those Duke players should make a list of everyone that failed them, and starting with the accuser, and sue the absolute crap out of them. I believe in forgiveness, but this lady absolutely destroyed these young men's lives. There needs to be a precedence for this. This is absolutely unacceptable. Once again, I totally believe in forgiveness, but this cannot be allowed to persist in this country." And I am on the same page. Like I've said before, I really believe in nuance. I believe you can walk a fine line with these things. So in regards to this case, I believe you can have personal forgiveness and forgive someone on a personal level, but at the same time, we need to set, as you stated, precedent and set a standard that this sort of behavior is not acceptable, not tolerable in our society or in any civil society. Free speech is protected, but what's also not protected? Defamation, libel, and is that not what this is? Knowingly and maliciously ruining someone's character? So yeah, I believe you can forgive someone just on a person-to-person level, but you can also sue them not as revenge against them, but as accountability, justice, and making sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else. Now, another comment. Joanne, Daniel, I listened to your political commentary. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy. And I know that you mentioned that you play the piano, but OMG, you play the piano. This was lovely. Start another channel and play more. Well, thank you, Joanne. And I just wanted to use this opportunity to say that on Thursday, this next Thursday, December 19, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, I will be doing a live stream. I've mentioned this before, but I now finally have a date and time. Again, this upcoming Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, I'll be doing a live stream playing at request. So think of your favorite Christmas songs, your favorite Christmas carols. Some of them will be piano solo. If you want me to sing and we can do like a sing-along, let me know. And I'll be taking requests live. So you can let me know in this video. You can let me know in the comments of any video. I'm scouring all the comments, specifically picking out song requests. So I'm making a list, and as I said, we'll take requests live. So I'm very excited, and I was able to find a place that has a baby grand, so I'm really excited about that. Lisa Turner, 95.8. Yes, we are getting so close to 100,000 subscribers. If and when the channel gets there, I will introduce you to my sleepy but not so sleepy dog, as well as my cat. I will tell you their names, their adoption stories, and there is a guessing contest still going on. Once I get to 96,000 subscribers, I will give an update of everyone who has guessed their two names correctly so that you don't have to keep guessing. But in case you're new to the channel, the dog is named after a dragon and the cat is named after my favorite gambler in a fantasy series. And every time I cross a new milestone, so like 96, 97, 98, 99, I will give you new clues. And not all the clues will be fantasy based, so everyone will be able to participate. Next, why is your fur kid always sleeping? Ha 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 ha. I thought I was going to save this for the 100,000 reveal, but I will just explain this now because it actually has turned into a point of contention. And apparently someone reported me to YouTube because I got an email and had to explain because someone reported me for alleged animal cruelty because they saw my dog sleeping in the background of every single video. So let me be very clear. I do not drug my dog or anything like that. And in fact, I'm going to give you this tidbit. I was saving this for the reveal, but I'm going to give you this tidbit. He is half Australian cattle dog, very active, and half Chihuahua. Yes, he's probably the world's largest Chihuahua. Believe it or not, the mom was the Chihuahua. Yeah, he weighs about 40 pounds, so a very big half Chihuahua. But Australian cattle dogs, they are herding dogs, and they are meant, as the name suggests, to herd cattle. And so they are very active. And as I've mentioned previously, I am an avid runner, a marathon runner. And so him and I actually go running about 3 times a day in the morning. And each run is about a minimum of 2 miles. So he gets about 6 miles of outdoor activity every single day. And usually what I do is we will go for a run, and then I will give him a dog treat, and they're like these beef, not like if I want to like entertain him for a while, I'll give him, of course, like the chew bones, but usually we have these beef jerky sticks about like this big, so it's quite a bit of beef jerky. Don't worry, it's like I keep his serving portions appropriate, but every time we run, and then I give him food, and he just will plop out, and I have a moment to make a video. Otherwise, he is just all over the place. I've shared videos previously of him playing with the cat, so just wanted to clarify that because apparently it's a point of contention. And this person is going across all my videos saying this is a shill channel, misinformation, faker. He has no dog. This is old film stock footage, not his apartment. He lies and tricks you. Why are you faking having a pet dog? And like, he's leaving that on like all my videos. Are you the one who reported me for animal cruelty? Should I block you from the channel? Should I block him from the channel? Let me know down in the comments below. But I do get entertained by some of those comments. I do, you know. But for all the people who think that that's a fake dog behind me, there are just as many people who think that the drones are fake. So let me know, again, your thoughts on the drones down in the comments below. Like I said, my goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers, so if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me reach more viewers like you in the algorithm. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.